How would you like a garden tour that's not perfect and polished, but one that's actually real and raw and shows the truth of a real mini farm and garden? Well, that's exactly what you're gonna get today. Behind the scenes, I have weeds, I have garden failures and rodent problems just like you, but I also have a lot of great successes, and so I wanna walk through what worked great this season, things that I would change for next year, and all the things I'm working on for fall. So let's check it out. So definitely the best success of the season was the tomatoes once again. This is the second season that the tomatoes have performed incredibly well. If you're watching this in real time, I recently shot a video of the best and worst tomato varieties of 2025, so be sure to check that out. But the tomatoes did incredibly well. Right now, in mid-September, the garden is a bit of a mess, but it gets to a point in summer where I just can't keep up with it all. So the tomatoes are a little overgrown. There's lots of beans that I need to collect seeds from. So these are my yard-long beans, and I need to collect those seeds. I have lettuce that has bolted, but what I'm gonna do is just save all these seeds. So sometimes a failure actually turns into a success. So obviously this lettuce is not edible at the moment, but I can save all the seeds. I have huge Armenian cucumbers that have not got harvested that I'll either feed to the chickens or maybe save some seeds from. And I have lots of tomatillos that I can still harvest. They're doing actually really great. Tomatillos are one of the best performers in the garden as well. One great thing is that my tomatoes on the west end of this arch did really great this year. So they've gotten quite a bit of shade, which I think really helped them out, especially here in our hot climate in zone 9. They just have grown incredibly well on this end. However, the peppers on the east end, they get a lot more sun basically all day long, and they didn't do very well. So knowing that, next year I'm going to plant more of my peppers here on this west end of the cattle panel arch. It just gets a lot more afternoon sun, or sorry, it gets a lot more afternoon shade, versus on the east end, it's pretty much the sun all day long. And I actually thought it was going to be opposite. I thought the arch was kind of going to shade that east end, but that wasn't the case. We also have some pine trees right here, you can kind of see, and that's helping provide some shade. So based on where the sun is during the midst of summer, this is actually a really good end for the peppers. And I wouldn't have known that unless I tried it out. This was the first year I did peppers right here. I've also been working on clearing out this row to get some fall crops planted. So everything you see right here, this was actually all still fall crops from last season. I didn't need the space this year for summer crops, and so I actually kept all of the fall crops in the ground. There's basically just a huge pile of them right here, a mix of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, weeds, some celery, just a little bit of everything. But I kept it all on the ground until just yesterday, and then I cleared this out. And the reason I did that is because it's actually better to have living roots in the soil versus bare soil. And so by keeping those fall crops in the ground, it helped the soil, because having living roots in your soil at all times attracts beneficial microbes. It keeps your soil from getting hard and compacted, but you also have to keep that soil moist. And so I still watered a few times a week just to keep the soil moist, but the crops really didn't need to have a lot of water because I wasn't trying to get a crop. I already got my crop when I harvested the broccoli and the cabbage, but I kept those in the ground all summer long, basically just to keep them alive. They stayed alive long enough that I was actually able to harvest some of the seeds to save for next year, or even for this season actually. And it was just a great way to keep the soil covered, keep the living roots in the soil without actually having to plant something else, because like I said, I didn't need that space for summer. And then here I have a crazy overgrown strawberry bed. I need to thin these out. The strawberry plants send off lots of daughter plants, and you need to trim those off, and you can either replant them, but these strawberries need space for next season for sure. So I need to come through and thin these out just to increase airflow and the overall health of the strawberry plants. And then you can see lots of weeds. I have so much more work to do. Lots of more plants to save seeds from. Right here we have some daikon radish that I'm going to be saving seeds from. I have artichokes that I'm going to save some seeds from, which artichokes are a really cool plant. If you've never seen how to collect seeds out of artichokes, you just pull these little white fluffy tufts out of the plant, and at the very bottom there is seeds connected. So it's a really cool crop to save seeds from. And then I had some fruit tree failures this year. So you can see right here, I have a tree that is basically all the way dead now. The gophers ate the roots off. Same thing happened with the apple tree down here. It got ate by the gophers, and so did the one right here that's no longer here. So the rodents have definitely been an issue this year. It's something we're working on, trying to get them under control. We used to have a lot of cats around, and a few of them have got killed off this season, so that's pretty sad. And so I think our rodents are getting a little bit worse. This is now the east end of the arch that I was talking about, and you can see these these pepper plants right here that just look a lot less healthy. They're just in full sun all day, kind of baking in the sun. My sweet alyssum right there, it completely fried. And so this was just a tougher end. The tomatoes aren't quite as healthy on this end. It would definitely benefit from some shade cloth. It's just overall pretty full sun all day long on this end. But it was a great thing to test out and see really what the weather and the sun did all season. And then here we are with all of the new fall seedlings that I got started. We have a little bit of everything: some broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, onions, green onions. I have another round of sweet basil going, one more round of cucumbers and zucchini, which we could possibly be getting a little bit late for that, but it's definitely worth giving a shot, especially growing from seed. It's so cheap to put a couple seeds in a pot or in the ground and see what happens. So I'm trying for one more round of that. I have lettuce, spinach, some Swiss chard, and I believe that's everything we have going in pots right now. In another week or so, I'm gonna get all of my root crops out in the garden. I'm gonna put in carrots, beets, radishes, parsnips, turnips, and maybe a few other things. I will be doing a different video going over all the different varieties and whatnot. But I just want to give a few quick tips as it comes to seed starting. So right where I am sitting right now is where I am keeping the seedlings. I'm not starting them indoors. In fact, I have a really small house. I do not have space for starting my seedlings indoors. And I'm sure if you're following along with me, you might be familiar with this, but I am in Zone 9, Central California. And so we have a very mild winter. It's still pretty warm right now in September, but it's starting to cool off. But outdoors is actually a perfect spot to start your seedlings. So I'm in just a shady location. It is a late afternoon right now. It's shaded, but as the sun starts going down, these trays get sun. They also get morning sun. So it's perfect because they get the light they need once the seedlings start sprouting. But I don't have to set up a grow light inside. I can just keep everything outside. So watering is easy, and the seedlings do really great that way. And because it's not too hot, like I said, it gets hot in mid-afternoon right now, but then it's cooling off in the evenings, and it's cool most of the day. So it's just the perfect element for these seedlings. If you're wanting to start your own seedlings, whether it be broccoli or cabbage or onions, whatever it might be, definitely feel free to just start them outdoors. They are cool season crops, and so they could be outside, and if it's warm where you are, put them in a shady location. The temperature should be cool enough that they'll do just fine. And once you wet down the soil and keep those seedling pots, or as long as you're keeping those seedling pots moist, that soil doesn't really get too hot. So that is one tip. And then a quick thing I just wanted to also bring up is whether or not it is too late to plant a fall garden. It is a common question I've been getting lately, and the truth is, if you are in a zone like me in Zone 9 where you have pretty mild winters, you are not too late. You might plant things late and not get a harvest before the new year. For example, say you plant your broccoli in October, it might not produce a head of broccoli before winter really sets in. However, the plant will survive through the winter and you'll get your harvest in the new year. So that's one of the joys of living in an area where you have pretty mild winters, is that things don't really get killed off in the winter. And so that's one great thing. So if there's anything you want to plant, I encourage you to test it out, get it in the ground as soon as you can, or start your seedlings, but you're not too late. And you're definitely not too late to plant things that are quick to mature, like radishes and lettuce and spinach. Most of your greens, some of your root crops like your carrots and beets. Those are all things that you have plenty of time for. And if you're watching this and you're in an area with a really harsh winter and you don't have very many days left in your growing season, you can still grow lots of things like I just mentioned, your lettuces, your radishes, or things that are really cold tolerant, like kale. It can survive temperatures down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit without any issues. So there's lots of options out there. If you are in Zone 9, I do have a complete Zone 9 vegetable gardening guide that gives you basically all of your planting dates for the entire year. For the cool season and the warm season, you'll find all kinds of charts and tips in here. The link for that will be in the description. And so that's a really great resource for my Zone 9 gardeners. However, if you're in a different zone, I encourage you to still plant a fall garden no matter what point in time you're watching this, as long as it's still in the fall time frame, of course, not midsummer. But if you head to this video right here, I go over quick maturing fall crops that you can harvest fairly quickly. So definitely check out that video and have a successful fall season. I'll see you in the next video.